Right, let's begin here. Adam Catzavelos has made his second court appearance today. He's facing a criminal injuria charge for using the K word in the video he shared on social media in August last year. Janke Tolmay has been tracking that story, and she's live for us at the Randburg Magistrate's Court. Janke, good morning to you. Perhaps let's start with that apology. We've just seen it. Explain to us what he says motivated him to say that.
Yeah, it is quite difficult because he said it was absolutely a moment of madness. And I've already seen some comments on this video, some disputing it, saying that he obviously knew exactly what he was saying. It was a planned statement. So it doesn't seem like everyone is quite convinced by that. But still, he says that he's embarrassed by what he said and he regrets recording that video and then posting it on social media. Now, that comment was made to the media quickly after his second appearance. In the past, we've seen he didn't really want to speak to the media, but this time he was encouraged by his legal team to just say something, just to say his side of the story. Obviously, this is the second time we've heard an apology, because after the initial video went viral, he did apologize, but it took a second opportunity today to just say that it was a moment of madness and he regrets, or he is sorry if he offended anyone, and that he regrets his actions.
All right, Janke, let's actually take the moment now to listen back to Adam Catzavelos as he makes that apology.
A moment of madness that I had last year. I'm completely embarrassed and utterly ashamed at what I did and what I said. And I express my sympathy and sorrow to anyone who upset and whose dignity I harmed. I had no intention of doing any of that, and I'm here to face my consequences, and I'm really sorry about any harm that I may have caused anyone.
All right, Janke, I see there's some activity behind you, and of course a flag that South Africans will recognize. The EFF are already making their presence felt there. What is happening? Is it on this same matter that they are there for?
Yes, you might remember that it was the EFF in Gauteng who actually laid the charge of criminal injuria against Adam Catzavelos shortly after that video went viral. They were not here during his first appearance, but today we've seen some members coming out. We didn't see them actually here when Adam Catzavelos was exiting the court, but they have come out since, and we are expecting to hear from the EFF's Gauteng leader Mandisa Mashego, who actually took the decision to lay the charge. We're hoping to speak to her pretty shortly. I think we are going to move there at the moment just to get a sense from the EFF about how they're feeling about the developments in court. We did hear that the case has been postponed till the 10th of July. This is for an opportunity for his legal team to make representations to the NDPP about the decision to go ahead with the case. So let's just quickly ask, Mandisa, just you were in court today. Just what's your reaction to some of the developments so far?
Well, I must say up front that we are very happy with the cooperation we've received this time from the police. The National Investigations Unit of the police, because they're the ones who prioritized the matter right from the get-go. And we are also, satisfied this time that the NPA is pulling their weight. We are also, pleased that it is in the Randburg Magistrate's Court, because, we have an experience with the Randburg Magistrate's Court generally that they tend to be a little bit more efficient. So we're satisfied so far. We are in communication as well with the Human Rights Commission, because as you know, they've initiated their own proceedings which are not based on our complaint, because they have a right to do that. But they've also been communicating freely with us and have indicated that they will keep us informed of all proceedings on their side when they start taking the matter to the equality courts. We are also dealing with the possible technicality that we might have to bring briefing attorneys. Not in a hostile way, because sometimes briefing attorneys are assumed to be babysitting the prosecution. That's not what we'll be doing. We have had extensive engagements with the NPA and with the SAPS, and we are satisfied that they will handle the case as best they possibly can within the confines of some of the technical issues, as you know. What happened today with the request for the postponement, also we were satisfied with how the NPA handled it, because the defense tried to get a much further date. And we can't have that kind of delay any longer, because Adam has already defied the South African criminal justice system and the South African people by just running away the entire time. So he has delayed us. We don't want any further delays. In any event, they'll count against him and not against us. So we were happy that the NPA argued that the 24th of July was too far, because in any event, we already suspect that they want to come and argue jurisdiction issues, etc. And so we will bring our briefing legal team to join the NPA and deal with any technicalities and any unnecessary blockages, because for us the interest is for this matter to go to trial as soon as possible, because you know that the technicalities at this stage can delay us for maybe another 1 or 2 more court hearings before we can actually get to the trial.
Now, I don't know if you've seen it, but he did do a short interview with the media after his appearance, calling it a moment of madness and something he regrets his actions and is sorry. What do you make about that response?
We've not had any direct contact with Adam. I was seeing him for the first time, like most of you, because I couldn't make it to the first appearance. So I haven't spoken to him. There was an attempt from his lawyer to make contact with myself. Fortunately, it was during a meeting with the NPA and the SAPS, who obviously in this instance have to be on our side because they're presenting our case and the people's case, essentially, because that's who this case belongs to. It doesn't belong to Mandisa Mashego, and it doesn't belong to the EFF. It belongs to the African people and the dignity that we need to get. If he did offer an apology to you through the media, that's his right. But we are not. We're not hardened. So if he wants to have an engagement, we will do it through the team. We'll do it through the NPA, and we'll do it through our briefing attorneys and through the SAPS, because they have to advise us. So when his lawyer tried to talk to me, I was basically advised not to speak to them at this stage unless they are requesting a formal meeting, in which case that meeting will have to be treated with the necessary protocols that the process requires, so that we don't jeopardize the process, and we don't jeopardize the outcome that we want. Because remember, the same as the general crime problem in South Africa, gender-based violence, murder, etc. What we want is a deterrent. He can apologize and do whatever, but we need the criminal justice system to start helping us with deterrence and stronger sentences. And because an apology, remember, is not necessarily justice. You can apologize and still serve time in jail, and we still accept your apology while you are serving your time in jail. Otherwise, then everybody will do as they wish and just apologize.
And just quickly, we heard from his lawyer that he might also be facing prosecution in Greece. The MPA was unable to confirm that. Have you heard anything about that specifically?
In the early days, when we were still dealing with the technicalities of laying the complaint with the National Investigations Office, we did receive reports that the SAPS have involved Interpol, and that Interpol have taken the matter very seriously. In fact, we then asked them to put more pressure on Interpol to get Adam to come back, because one thing we were asked in the early stages, and we didn't report to South Africans, was that should the police go on a manhunt for him in Greece or anywhere in Europe, wherever he might be. We said no, we are not in the in the business of wasting our people's money. Adam must do the right thing and come back on his own. They then came back to us and said, look, he's not barging, they're not finding him. Interpol is offering to help. We said, okay, ask Interpol to push and let them make an appeal for him to come back, because either way we're going to find him, whether here in South Africa or anywhere in the world. Interpol then obviously did their bit clearly, and he then obviously decided to come back. But if there's an international case in Greece, we're very happy. We will ask the SAPS to make contact with the necessary authorities in Greece just to get the official position for us, because we don't want to go on rumors. And then, we will support support, the Greeks in whatever efforts, because that will be the greatest victory actually that we would have gotten out of this matter, because there's an impression created by South Africans that we are crybabies, we are sensitive, we don't want to get over apartheid and colonialism, and so we make an issue of being name called. We must get over it. We can't. We're not going to get over it, especially because the result of apartheid and racism is black poverty and black subjugation to economic inequality. And so for as long as the remnants of colonial racism and colonial apartheid brutality exists in the material conditions of our people, name calling will forever remain the biggest insult after the poverty that our people endure. So we'll welcome the SAPS confirming for us that the Greeks have a case, and who knows, maybe we can fundraise and ask somebody out there to buy us an air ticket when he appears in a Greek court, and we can go and sit there and watch international law and watch international forces help us to fight racism decisively.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, there you have it. Just response from the EFF about the developments that we saw in court. For now, we will have to wait to hear what the outcomes of those representations to the NDPP is, and then we will be back in court on the 10th of July.
Janke Tolmay live for us at the Randburg Magistrate's Court, and that's where Adam Catzavelos